Hello friends, welcome back to Right Channels. My name is Benjamin. Today's video is on learn the 8 pillars of content creation and how they really work. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Click on the bell icon as well so that whenever a new video goes live on this channel, you will be the first to be notified. Without much ado, let's go right into the lecture. First, a quick look at the agenda for today's episode. Number 1, audience appeal. 2, originality of ideas. 3, clarity and focus. 8, organization. 5, development. 6, expression. 7, linguistic correctness. And 8, political correctness. We shall be looking at this one by one. First, audience appeal. You know, the audience refers to a group of people who listen to what you have to say, or who read what you have written, or who watch the video clip you have presented on a given platform. So the audience is of central importance to your success as a content creator. A content creator is someone who creates content, and content is king. Content is what you require, especially in today's online-driven global economy. Content is really what drives business on internet today. And so, what are the 8 pillars of content creation? What are those things that you need to do to make your content really work as a content marketer, as a content creator, and as a content marketer? Number 1 is audience appeal. Your content should present an idea that captures people's attention, an idea that appeals to the target audience. This is key because it doesn't make sense to create content that people are not interested in, just as it doesn't make sense to bring a product into a marketplace that people do not demand. A product that has no demand, a product that does not present value to anybody, that doesn't provide a solution to anybody's problem, that doesn't solve a specific customer need. You have no business presenting such a product in the marketplace. It is a clear economic law that the person who gets paid is the one who brings value into the marketplace. And the value you bring into the marketplace as a content creator is the type of content that will provide solution to the problems of your target audience. And so you need to ensure that the content you create has audience appeal. Simply put, it appeals to the audience. It is attractive to the audience. It is interesting to the audience. The audience are looking for this type of content. And so there are a lot of things you need to do to create content that has audience appeal. You need to conduct a market research before you start creating any content. And for content to be presented online, the best form of research is keyword research. Because whenever people type anything on a Google search engine or Bing or any type of search engine, they have a specific problem in mind. They have a specific question that they are looking for answers or solutions to. All right, so you need to find out this, and so you need to ensure that you create content that is in line with what people are looking for, the kind of questions people are asking. If your content provides the accurate answer to people's frequently asked questions, then your content has audience appeal. All right? Then the next point, the next pillar of content creation is originality of ideas. Originality of ideas. In other words, your content should be unique and original. It should be an idea created by you. It should not be an idea you lifted from other people's works. Mindless lifting of other people's ideas renders a piece of writing or content fake and substandard. And in addition to that, you know that when you copy other people's ideas and paste them as your own, you have committed copyright infringement. You have violated certain copyright laws. All right, so you need to avoid that, because even Google has a platform that actually regulates the content that is uploaded on its platforms, frown greatly at copyright infringements. And in various countries, you know, it is known as intellectual theft. So you need to avoid that. Moreover, originality of ideas is what gives a stamp of authority, a stamp of authenticity to your content. When your content is originally created by you, it gives you the authority to present it, both, you know, the natural authority. Let me put it this way. You know, when you are presenting content that you created by yourself, you don't need to look at anything. You don't need to cram anything. I mean, it flows from your subconscious mind like water that flows like water when it flows from its natural source. That's the way it happens. So it will flow naturally, and it will actually authenticate your work. It will make your work appear valid in the eyes and ears of your audience, because it becomes clear that you know exactly what you are talking about, and that it is not something you just copied and pasted from somewhere. This is an idea that originated from you, and because it originated from you, you can talk about it authoritatively, you can talk about it with clarity, you can talk about it with great passion, and all these will really increase the interest and engage your audience in a very unique manner. So you need to create content that is unique and original. It should be an idea that originated from you. It is not unlikely that you have to make reference to other people's works. But even when you make references to other people's works, you do not leave them hook, line, and sinker. You need to come in with your own perspective, with your own viewpoint. You need to inject your own original idea into whatever you are doing, so that you will not be simply a copycat. All right, so this is really one of the pillars of content creation. Then the third one is clarity and focus. Now I need to say from this at this juncture that if you are able if you have been able to adhere to the first two pillars we talked about, audience appeal and originality of ideas, of course, these two will already help you to achieve clarity and focus. But talking about clarity and focus, this means that the content you create should discuss a single clear central idea. All right? It should not be jack of all trade and master of none. Let me give you a clear example with the lens of a camera. You know, the camera lens is what you focus on a given image in order to capture it clearly and prominently. And what happens when you fail to focus the lens of your camera on the desired object? Instead, you start shifting the camera from one object to another and all over the environment. You will succeed in capturing so many images in that environment. But one thing you will fail woefully to do is that you will fail to capture one particular image of interest in particular. And that is exactly what focus is all about. When you focus the lens of your camera on a given image, then you capture it with greater clarity and prominence and splendor. All right, so that is what happens also when the focus of your content is on a given main idea at a particular time. That's why you have a topic for discussion, and you make sure you do not derail from your topic. You don't begin with a given topic and then you divert to so many other topics, and at the end of the day, the listener or the viewer will be wondering what exactly you are talking about. So focus begets clarity, and clarity sharpens focus at the same time. When you focus on something, then you capture it very clearly. And because you capture it very clearly, it becomes very clear that your focus is on this particular image or object. All right? So your content should discuss a single clear central idea. You should not raise so many issues without zeroing in on a specific idea. That is about clarity and focus. It's one of the pillars of content creation. Then the next pillar of content creation is organization. All right? And it means that your work should be well organized. The entire piece of writing should be organized logically. The ideas being expressed should flow smoothly and stick together. This is really very important. That is why when you write, you take time to prepare. Because let me give you an example with building a house. Before people build a good house, they sit down and they actually plan it. All right? They plan it, they get a design, and within that planning stage, they spell out where the sitting room should be, where the bedrooms should be situated, where you are going to have your kitchen, your balcony, your toilet facilities, and so on and so forth. So when you organize it before you start building, then after building the house, you are going to have the various facilities in their proper places, so that you won't mistakenly find out that after building, your kitchen is where your toilet is supposed to be, or your veranda is where your balcony is supposed to be. Planning is what ensures that your work is well organized. That is why in creating content, such as in the writing process, we classify the process into three: pre-writing, which is the planning that and the preparation that goes into it, and then the writing and the rewriting. You know, during the writing, you attempt to put together the things you had planned at the planning stage. And even after writing, you take time to look at it and make corrections, all right? Which is what rewriting is all about. So when you go through the right process in organizing, planning your content, then you get it well organized. All right? And that is why when I teach people how to write an article or how to write an essay or how to write a letter, I always emphasize that a good piece of writing should have three main parts. You know, the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. And of course, if it is an article, for instance, you should have a topic. You know, if it's a speech, it should have a topic. So when you organize your work in this way, then of course your work will flow. All right, the entire piece of writing, when organized logically, it enables you to express your ideas in a way that flows smoothly and in a way that the ideas are interconnected, they are logically connected, and you have a coherent piece of content. Now, to achieve this, your content should have a definite structure, such as an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. So the need for your content to be well organized cannot be really overemphasized, because organization is what actually will engage your audience and will grab their attention and retain their attention, because your ideas keep flowing logically, all right? And they are interrelated so that your audience can follow as you flow, all right? Now, the next pillar of content creation is development. You know, I don't know what will how bad it should be if after you have laid the foundation for your house, you stop there. Of course, it doesn't make sense. You have not succeeded in building a complete house. I think this is the analogy that I can simply give to explain the need for development when creating content. You know, the central idea of the write-up or whatever your content you are creating should have supporting ideas that should be discussed in several paragraphs. You know, like when you have laid the foundation for your house, you need to come up with the walls. You need to raise the walls, and when you get to the lintel level, then you cast the beams. When you get to the roofing level, then you roof the house and you put the doors, the windows, and all other facilities that will make it a complete house. This is how it is with creating content. All right? Each paragraph should support or be related to the central idea of the paragraph. All right? You cannot write the topic of your content and end up there. And you cannot write the first paragraph and introduce your topic and stop there. No, you need to get into the body of your essay or article or speech or lecture or whatever content you are creating, and then you discuss the various ideas in various paragraphs, and then each paragraph should support or be related to the central idea of the paper. Now, in real content creation, we talk about the essential ingredients that the first paragraph, which is the introductory paragraph, should contain. It should contain a hook, it should contain a thesis, it should contain background information, it should contain enumeration of the main ideas. And then when you get into the body of your content, then you develop each main idea in each paragraph. All right, so that is what we mean by development. The idea of each paragraph should be explained and illustrated with examples and supporting details. So when you actually plan your content, you ensure that you are building a complete house, and by the time you are raising the walls, then everybody will know you are at the walling stage. All right, so as the building progresses, then various parts of the structure begin to take shape. That is exactly how content creation is all about. And you ensure that you develop your content, because developing your content is what is going to drive the message home and ensure that your audience really get the message you are conveying with clarity and conviction. All right, then the next pillar of content creation is expression. Very, very important. You know, this has to do with the use of language, how you use language to express your ideas. And it is very important that you learn how to use language and use it well, because that is what expression is all about, your ability to express your ideas. You may have very wonderful, amazing ideas, but if you fail to express these ideas well, your audience will get confused. For example, if you are trying to get across a given message, but you put it in such a way that the meaning is not very clear, then what your audience gets is ambiguity. They are confused as to what exactly you are saying. So in terms of expression, this is a great pillar of content creation, and you should ensure that the language you use is accurate and appropriate to the type and purpose of writing. All right, and this is what we call the appropriate register. According to a notable English scholar called Jonathan Swift, you know, your style of writing should be very clear. He said that the writing style, or if you like, register, is putting proper words in proper places. Because when you use the appropriate word in defining the appropriate concept, then your audience will understand. For example, the language you use when talking about sports is quite different from the language you use when talking about agriculture, for example. All right, so you must use concise and clear language that is appropriate to what you are talking about. You choose the right words to express the right things, and your ability to use language properly is what will enable you to achieve good expression, because this is why language becomes the most effective tool for content creation. On this channel, we teach language, we teach you English grammar, we teach you all the language proficiency, the areas of language proficiency in English. You know, how to speak English fluently, how to write English effectively, and so on and so forth. We teach, you know, English sentences, we teach how to summarize, we teach comprehension, we teach oral English skills, and so on and so forth, so that when you learn how to use language, when you achieve linguistic competence, when you attain the level of proficiency in the use of language, it becomes easier for you to express your ideas with great clarity. Now, that is expression. It's really very, very important. Whatever language you are using as a medium of communication for creating content, you need to ensure that you use the right choice of words in order to convey the intended meaning of whatever content you are projecting, right? Then the next second to the last, if you like, the seventh pillar of content creation is linguistic correctness. Is somehow related to expression, but is an extension of it. Linguistic correctness. You know, this shows that you need to adhere to the rules of correctness in grammatical concord, in tense, all right, in punctuation, in capitalization, in spelling, if it is written something, and so on and so forth. You know, linguistic correctness, or if you like, grammatical correctness. This is really very important. If you are a blogger or a website owner, for instance, you will discourage people from visiting your blog or your website if every time you read your article it is marred by grammatical errors here and there that actually make it difficult for the average reader to understand what you are really saying. I mean, it becomes boring, and it also offends the sensibilities of the reader or the audience. You know, there is a correlation between the value that people place on your content and the correctness, the grammatical correctness of your content. You know, a lot of people will tell you grammar doesn't matter, but those who really know, better know that grammar really matters, because grammatical blunders have even caused war in some cases. The other time when I was discussing this issue of grammatical correctness in one of my videos, which is entitled "How Good is Your Grammar?" All right, how good is your grammar? You will discover an example given by a scholar, you know, on about the importance of grammar, and he said, you consider the expression, you know, let's eat daddy. Let's eat daddy. Now, you listen to it. When it is written, there is no comma. All right? Just the omission of the punctuation comma distorts the meaning of that sentence, that expression. And in fact, gives it a meaning that is really very, very bad, very, very negative, to the extent that, you know, it can really cause a very fierce fight. You know, if you say, let's eat daddy, what are you exactly saying? Anybody listening to you will probably look at you as a cannibal, as a carnivorous animal, as a beast who is capable of eating his own daddy. When you say, let's eat daddy, all right? How can you eat daddy? And obviously, there is no sane man that will have that meaning right in his mind. But because of the incorrect use of language, then you give a wrong impression. You convey the wrong meaning, quite contrary to your intended meaning, your desired meaning. Because by the time we correct that piece of grammar, you discover that it's something that is very, very, that is morally correct, all right? And all we need to do is, let's eat, we put a comma, daddy, full stop. Let's eat, daddy. Now that pause indicated by a comma makes your expression linguistically correct. And when your expression is linguistically, grammatically correct, of course it conveys the right meaning. All right? And because it conveys the right meaning, you are going to get the right feedback. Don't forget that content creation is for the purpose of getting the right feedback from your target audience. And how can you get the right feedback when you are giving the wrong content, when you are conveying the wrong message? Of course, you are going to get the wrong feedback If you give the wrong message, you get the wrong feedback. If you give the right message, you get the right feedback. So you can see the importance of linguistic correctness in creating content. So that is the seventh pillar of content creation. And then that brings us to the last but not the least pillar of content creation, and that is political correctness. Well, a lot of people will argue that when you talk of political correctness, it's a controversial thing because a lot of people don't believe that political correctness is something desirable. However, we can look at political correctness from different perspectives. But for the purpose of this video, we are looking at it from the right perspective, because politics itself is not a bad thing. Every human being is involved in politics in one way or the other. The question is whether you are involved in the positive type of politics or the negative type of politics, you know, because when we talk of politics, we are talking about, you know, the use of power, all right, influence, and you can't shy away from that. So there is political correctness that is actually correct. That's what I am trying to say here. And what do we mean by political correctness as one of the pillars of content creation? What we mean is that the content you create should be free from racial, religious, or gender bias. I perceive you are getting the picture clearer now, that we are not talking about political correctness from the negative point of view. We are talking about it from the positive point of view. And when you achieve the right type of political correctness in your content creation, then of course you create an all-inclusive piece of content that everyone will find friendly and will be able to consume. You don't need to create a content that will offend the sensibilities of a particular race, whether the white race, the black race, the red Indians. You don't need to create content that antagonizes any racial group. And this is what we mean by being politically correct. It means you need to create content that does not have any racist inclination, that does not have any atom of religious fanaticism in it. It should not be, your content should not be inciting anybody against any religion. All right? And your content should not be, you know, trying to brainwash or dogmatize somebody about a particular religion that will, in the long run, turn the person into a religious fanatic or an extremist. No, that kind of content is not politically correct. Again, your content should not in any way become antagonistic to a particular gender. It should not, you know, encourage male domination of the female or female domination of the male. Your content should be balanced. It should be socially, politically, linguistically, culturally correct. It should be polite and friendly to every member of the audience. All right? It should not offend the sensibilities of some members of your audience or bring a division among them. No, the content you create should provide value to all members of your audience. And this is really what we mean by political correctness. In other words, any material that smacks of racism, religious fanaticism, or gender bias is not good content for presentation on any platform. By the way, various online platforms will always include this in their terms. All right? their terms and conditions always exclude this kind of content. You should not create a content that is going to antagonize any section of the audience on that platform. So, and this is where we are going to draw the curtain in today's video. I hope you have gained quite a lot from today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if actually you did, kindly like the video and share it with your friends and relations. If you have not subscribed to this channel, I believe that time has come for you to actually subscribe to this channel, because it is just and right. It is good, because as the English says, one good turn deserves another. If you have gotten value from this channel, of course, it is a win-win situation when you subscribe to the channel. And I must be frank to you, I need your support. All right, I need your support, and the only way and the best way you can support this channel is to subscribe to the channel. I want to use this opportunity also to say a big thank you to all of you out there who have actually subscribed. You know, within such a short time, we have been able to cross the 1,000 subscriber mark, and that is because of your support. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you who have subscribed, and to all of you who are about to subscribe right now. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you. And if you have subscribed, make sure you click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever a new video goes live on this channel, you will be instantly notified, and you will have access, free access to all the videos we upload on this channel, and you won't miss any of our videos. Once again, I want to thank you for being part of today's episode. You will find the comment section below in case you have any comments, in case you have any suggestions to make. I want to emphasize here that most of the suggestions, most of the videos we upload these days on this channel are in response to the suggestions from our highly esteemed viewers and subscribers. And if you make any suggestion, you can trust me, we are going to respond promptly. So if you have any topic in mind, either in English language learning and teaching, or in content creation, you can mention the topic you have in mind if it is really a topic you want me to discuss in the next videos. Once again, I want to thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye for now, and remain blessed.